Hello. Mum battery. So it's the 20th. It's the 20th of the 5th, 2023. It's 1:24 AM. And so I thought I'll do this anyway. So what I'm going to do is about 5 days ago now, I watched a few movies while I was having time off YouTube, and currently I'm back to 2 days away from YouTube. And last week I did 5 days away from YouTube, and during those 5 days I watched a few movies. And okay, I was umming and ahhing about talking about a particular movie, which was 2017's The Neighbour, and I watched it. I watched it via the internet, actually through Prime Video. I watched through Prime Video, and okay, so at first I wasn't going to talk about it, and then I decided I was going to talk about it, and then I decided I wasn't going to talk about it, and then I decided I was going to talk about it. Actually, I've got to come back up here. I've got to come back up here because, actually, oh, frick, I shouldn't even be doing this. Give me a moment. I've got to make sure it change. Now, I watched The Neighbour, okay? And at first I wasn't going to talk about it, and then I was going to. It's with. Okay, I watched this movie. My goodness. A well-made movie. I actually did read the reviews. The reviews are very interesting, split both ways. William Fichtner. He's a guy that jumped up out of his seat in Heat when I think Robert De Niro smashes a window, and William Fichtner is watching sports and he jumps up out of his seat. William Fichtner is an interesting actor. This movie, okay, The Neighbour, is awkward from the onset. Completely awkward from the word go. And it is tense and awkward. And some of the comments, some of the reviews have said this is a slow burn. I didn't find it a slow burn. I found it awkward. The situations were interesting, and William Fichtner does a good job at playing this conservative, middle class, bit past middle age guy who's socially awkward and tense and doesn't communicate very well, and the conversations he has with his wife are very awkward and not good. And they get a new neighbour, the young girl with her husband, and it's I thought William played this character well. I thought William Fichtner did this. I haven't seen many William Fichtner's movies, but he's good at what he does. I thought he played the part well. It's cringeworthy, not his acting. He's a good actor. He just conveys it. He conveys it so well. And at 1 hour and 6 minute mark, when it starts, I only got one battery. When it starts flashing, I'm going to call it a day. At the 1 hour and 6 minute mark, the script takes a nosedive. I'm like, who wrote this? Alright, spoiler alert, because I'm thinking that you've seen it. I am thinking that you've seen this movie. Like, would the wife just say, that's it? Like, wouldn't you say, let's talk about this. We need to talk about it. We need to communicate it. You sit down, you discuss it. You don't just go, that's it, done. Like, not really over that. Not really over that. I mean, it wasn't a good thing, wasn't it? I mean, it was a thing, but okay, at 1 hour and 6 minute mark, it's like, she's like, that's it, done, finished. And you're like, well, that escalated quickly. It's like, what? Maybe you call it women's intuition. Okay, I understand the women's intuition part, so I'm getting her perspective on it. But she's not even willing to sit down. She's like, no, that's it. And this movie is, look, it's been 6 days since I watched it, and I kept thinking about it. I kept thinking about actually how well done it is, and I mean cringe-worthy moments, not script-wise, not saying terrible acting, I'm not saying the acting was terrible. I'm just saying the script. Everyone involved did their job well. This is just awkward. All the way through is awkward. Totally awkward. And the ending, you're like, don't you know when to stop? Like, the end, it's like, listen to your friend. Listen to your friend. Get out. Because you're like, okay, how much worse can you make the situation? So, in fact, actually that was recorded. This was all recorded a few days ago now, and I'm about to upload it tonight. And after I had recorded this a few days ago, people came okay, is this guy at the end, in the end scene, is he a hero? That's a bloody fine line. That's a fine line. No, no, no. And it just, I'm assuming you've seen the movie, and it just gets worse. It gets worse. It's like, no, he's not really a hero. And his friend said, take this free pass. His friend says that. And it's just all bad. He's not a hero. It's just it's all tragic. And, my goodness. Yeah. When he goes to knock on the door, when he knocks on the door in the previous scene, that you're like, oh no. And the last scene, it's like, just okay. I just sliced that in. All right. And then I remember Multiverse. I watched Multiverse. I think I watched Multiverse before that. A movie called Multiverse. And I gotta say, I'm gonna fail it. I'm gonna say it. Multiverse. There's a guy called Monroe Chambers. Now, this is an interesting movie. It's about timelines and overlapping themselves. These guys, these but what is it? 5 guys, five people, six here. Yeah. They do this sort of time travel. They do this experiment, and it actually ends up working. Now, okay, I'm gonna be totally honest. I did figure out what was going on. Most of the time, I just pay attention to the acting, and if I like what the actors are doing, if I like how they're doing it, that's enough for me. Because sometimes I might not necessarily figure out all the components of a story the first time I'm watching something, but if the acting is good, I'll stay with it, because that's what I'm interested in. And in this case, yeah, look, I did figure out what was going on. Slightly complicated, slightly, but I want to say clever. I do want to say that. Look, I want to talk about Monroe Chambers, because he does excessive acting, over the top excessive acting, but it works. He's really dramatic, And when most actors would pull back and like really pull back on it, he gives it his all. And whether it was like he was giving it all because that's what he thought the character required, or the director asked it of him, who's just doing it because that's what his character required, he goes over the top, and it actually works. Like, it actually, usually when an actor does, it's like, hold back on that, you gotta ease back, hold back. He goes over the top, he goes ultra intense, and it actually works. It works. And in the very, very beginning, I thought, oh, some of this acting is a little bit, it could be a little bit better. But as the movie progressed, it was okay. As the movie progressed, it was okay. Entangled. That's what it's called. Okay, it's called Entangled. I thought it was called Multiverse. Maybe it has two names. My glasses. I thought, well, I could take my glasses off. 2019. The acting was interesting. The movies, it kept me there. It kept me going. Look, sometimes I have a lot to say about a movie, and sometimes I don't have a lot to say about a movie. As I said, I saw this for the first time last week. I thought, yeah, it kept my attention. Thought the acting was okay. That guy's over the top, and it works for him. It totally works for him. I'm moving along now to I want to talk about the Hollywood Sign. Hollywood Sign with Burt Reynolds, Rod Steiger. Stop it, Pat. Stop it, Pat. Okay. 2001. I bought this in a $2 bin. I used to work at Carlisle Broadway and had a $2 DVD bin, and I bought it one day. I think I bought this movie in, I don't know, about 2006. And I haven't seen it for a few years. Haven't seen it for a while. And last week, after a bit of contemplation, I dragged it. I'll show you. Look, do you want to see it? See it? Show you. You want to see it? Show you. Look, baby, here it is. Look, see? Here it is. Look. There it is there. And my battery is blinking, which means that I haven't much time left. Okay. Burt Reynolds, Tom Berenger, Rod Steiger, Jacqueline Kim, Alan Sapienza, David Provel. Look, fun movie. Really interesting. Once again, fun movie. I got a little depressed during it, because the movie's depressing. I was just thinking about different things, and sometimes when I'm watching a movie that I've seen a few times from the past, it'll just evoke different emotions within me. I'm not saying that it's a bad movie or anything. It's actually quite interesting. And you're saying, oh, here's that bloody word interesting, and here's that bloody word interesting again. I felt a bit sad while I was watching it. In fact, actually, I fell asleep while I was watching it. I was still listening. I fell asleep while I was watching it. It did make me feel very sad. Some movies have an effect on me. But I did fall asleep while I was watching it. I fell asleep for about half an hour. I was still listening. Okay, back to what I was saying. But yet it was. It's interesting. That's what I thought about. I felt a bit melancholy about watching it too. A bit melancholy. Burt Reynolds is just terrific in it. It's funny. And Rod Steiger's good. Good cast. A fun watch. I recommend The Hollywood Sign. I think it's one of those movies that went on the radar. Wasn't seen by too many people. I'm probably lucky to have it on DVD, but it's probably bloody $40 on eBay now. Probably very hard to get. 2001, Hollywood Sign, Burt Reynolds. It's worth a watch. It's worth a watch. It was about the 6th time I'd seen it. I don't know. Yeah, maybe the 5th time I'd seen it. 6th time I'd seen it. I don't think I'll be able to talk about Retroactive during this because the battery's going to go. So, it's the 21st of May 2023. 6:21 p.m. I thought we'll do a separate video on this on Retroactive, made in 1997, May 1997, with Jim Belushi, with Frank Whaley, with Shannon Worry, Kylie Travis, and Jesse Borrego. All great, all very good in it. Jim Belushi. Yeah, I like to think he's a nice guy in real life. Jim Belushi plays the role so well. Whaley. I like Frank Whaley. He's good. And with Kylie Travis. I've seen this movie a few times over the years. It's a wild ride. It's quite engaging. I watched it again last week. I hadn't seen it in at least a few years. And I was going to say it's a bit dated, but it's held up. It stood the test of time. It's a good watch. In fact, actually, what happened was I hadn't seen it for a while, so there was a few scenes in it which I thought, oh, okay, it goes this way, that's right, yeah. So I kind of had forgotten, sort of forgotten some of the scenes. Jim Belushi. He plays his character well, and Frank is terrific. He's good, but they all play their roles quite well. Kylie Travis, she's very good in this. It's whatever. Whenever I talk about a movie, I'm assuming you've seen it like maybe 4 or 5 times already. But maybe if you haven't seen Retroactive, I don't think that many, maybe not that many people have heard of it. And what it is Frank's character. He's at a government facility. It's in the desert, and he's basically performing experiments on. He's got this time travel loophole thing in time arranged, set up. He's experimenting with time. And what happens is Jim Belushi and Kylie Travis get involved in this. They become a part of it. They get involved with it. It'd just be so much easier if I could just assume that you've seen this movie. So yes, spoiler alert. So what happens is they're in the circumstance, and then what happens is Kylie, she gets sent back in time. I think it's 20 minutes. Sent back in time 20 minutes, and back into the same situation. And I think the movie's quite well done. Always enjoyed it. It was Jim Belushi. He just plays the bad guy so well, plays the villain so well. And he in the mid to late 90s, Jim Belushi, he did a run of movies. He was a bit of a star in Hollywood, and the movie is well done. The movie's well done, and it's tense, suspenseful. it has the components in it that I like in a movie. It's suspenseful, intense, well played. The acting is quite good, and put together. It's put together quite well. Um, it's a good film to look back on, especially if you haven't seen it. And made in the late 90s. That's really about all I've got to say on it. Yeah. It's one of those movies that I watch every few years or so. I might go back to it every 3 or 4 years or so, maybe. Or obviously, I may never watch it again, but occasionally, I'll watch it. So instead of doing this separately, I'm adding this in here. Okay, adding this in here. All right. Yep. And then so I'm gonna wrap this up now. Then, and that's it. So I'll wrap this up now then. And thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching. Comments in the section down below. Tell me what you think. Thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in. This is a quick movie. This is a quick talk about a couple of movies. Thanks for tuning in. Midnight Charlie Man, Patrick. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you. Thank you.